Welcome to your Around the Peninsula. I'm Specialist Tyler Ferris. When you hear the word battle, you might associate it with war. Air Force Staff Sergeant Justin Wayne takes us to a different type of battlefield taking place at Osan.
The Society for Creative Anachronism, or SCA, is a historical recreational group that focuses on the medieval ages. Staff Sergeant Sean Stoner, or Sean Shaw as he's known in the SCA community, wouldn't even know the group existed if not for one of his co-workers.
I'd never even heard of the SCA until about 8 months ago when a buddy of mine in my shop was an SCA member. He's like, come try this out. And I put on all his armor, and the next day I purchased my own. It was that quick. I got instantly hooked from the first time I tried it on.
Just putting on the armor is like taking a trip back in time.
This gives you the feel of how people were fighting in the Middle Ages. Specifically, my portion is the late Middle Ages with the plate armor and knowing how our ancestors had to fight and stuff that's extremely heavy. So it kind of gives you a better idea on how stout these individuals were back in the day.
Sean also enjoys competing in battle with other members of the SCA.
I actually like the fighting. That's the primary reason I started with the SCA was I found out that I could legally beat on somebody and get away with it. It's actually a good stress reliever. Have a bad day, just, hey, let's go practice and we're gonna go beat up on each other. There are rules, obviously, you know, armor requirements, but the fact that you can beat on someone and no one get mad at it is the funnest experience for me.
Although this was his first tournament, he made the most of it.
As far as I know, I was tournament champion, best 2 out of 3 on the last one.
Sergeant Stoner plans on participating in more Society of Creative Anachronism reenactments once he returns to the United States. Air Force Staff Sergeant Justin Wayne, Osan Air Base, Korea.
There's another fun battle going on at Yongsan, but this one is bringing people together. Petty Officer Justin Rouse shows us how.
Catoosa Friendship Week is a time for U.S. service members and Catoosas to form lasting bonds.
There's not a lot of opportunities for us Catoosas and the U.S. service members to get together and actually play. We work together, we live together, but we don't really actually get to interact, and I think the Catoosa Week is a great opportunity for us to like mingle, so I'm enjoying it.
It's real fun. We get to see a different side of everybody. You never know who has the soccer ability and who just wants to get out here and kick a ball around. So it definitely lets me get to know the guys a little bit better, but I definitely think playing with them helps me relate to them better, be able to talk to them outside of the work environment.
Although Catoosa Friendship Week is only 5 days long, the U.S. military and their Korean counterparts will continue to thrive. Petty Officer Justin Rouse, Yongsan, Korea.
1st Signal Brigade won the championship title for the soccer tournament, but the bigger win was a stronger alliance. Specialist Marquita Gibson shows us how an alliance makes it easier to train together.
The 9th Engineer Support Battalion and the ROK Marine Corps learned the importance of proficiency and communication with one another while constructing a medium girder bridge.
I chose this MOS 1371 Combat Engineer just because of how it related when I was a civilian. I did a lot of work doing construction, so it just seemed very practical at the time. It's a skill set that I can use after I get out of the Marine Corps.
Being bridge master holds a great amount of responsibility. Not only does Corporal Lambert demonstrate authority by delegating and supervising the task at hand, he also helps his Marines in the construction.
Earlier, Corporal Lambert, while helping us set up the A-frames and set up the end of the bridge so we can start booming it across, he's there telling the other groups what to do, and while he's doing that, he still can multitask and help us at the same time.
Corporal Lambert and the Marines in the 9th ESB have been training to build the medium girder bridge for the past couple of months to gain assurance in their ability to accomplish their mission.
We are learning from them, and they are learning from us. This is in case we ever do need a system, if anything ever was to kick off in this area. It's just get good training in order for us to learn how to coordinate with each other.
Corporal Lambert is a great leader. He's definitely the difference between a leader and a boss. A boss will tell you to go do something, a leader will do it with you, and that's what he does. He doesn't just sit there and watch, he makes it happen when he's there to help.
Specialist Marquita Gibson, Pohang, Korea.
The Marines aren't the only engineers in Korea. Army Sergeant Antonio Vincent tells us how students are building a different kind of bridge.
10, 20, 30, 40. How much weight do you think a bridge made of toothpicks can handle?
This is the toothpick testing competition. So for building the toothpick bridges, the students are given a 3-sheet set of instructions from the beginning. One of the things we want to make sure, since this is the competition, is that all students have the same set of instructions. And one of the things is they can only use flat toothpicks, they can only use white Elmer's glue, and they can only have a maximum of 500 toothpicks.
Students have the option of building individual bridges or creating a team. Either way, getting your hands dirty was the fun part.
I like the field of engineering and the fact that you can create your own thing by hand.
One of the things I always do is I never limit my students based on my knowledge. If I can find the material and the information, we learn it together. And I think that that is what makes it a successful class.
The STEM class teamed up with other teachers at the school and brought out a few more items such as chess just to stimulate the kids' thinking process.
I've done this so many times, I already know that they can do it. So being able to encourage those students that think they can't and then seeing them at the end is really wonderful. I really enjoy that.
Mrs. Wilkins also said she is pleased with the direction the STEM program is headed. Army Sergeant Antonio Vincent, Yongsan, Korea.
These bridges get built up just to be knocked down, but what happens when you knock an airman down? Tech Sergeant Sean Rose lets us witness firsthand.
Airmen attending professional military education observed the court-martial of an airman accused of sexual assault at Kunsan Air Base.
On 27 July 2013, did anything out of the ordinary happen?
I was raped.
The airman allegedly had sex with his coworker while she was passed out under the influence of alcohol.
I mean, somebody that they trusted, somebody that they've always been around, and it's always the same thing I always hear is, I never thought they would do that kind of thing.
Did this affect your daily life?
The FTAC airmen, who've just arrived at their first permanent duty assignment, had a chance to witness the severe consequences of sexual assault.
You know, it's one thing to hear it in briefings over and over again, to see the skits, to see the PowerPoint presentations. It's a completely different thing to see what a trial is actually like.
Fortunately, today's trial was just for show, and the accused was an innocent actor.
Most of you know this wasn't actually real. We tried to make it feel real and seem real to you guys for a good teaching point to show you how serious this can all be.
Afterwards, the audience members had a chance to talk to the attorneys and to clarify misconceptions about sexual assault in the Air Force.
If someone is under the influence of a substance, that they should not and cannot be able to consent to something like sex.
The sexual assault response coordinator spoke to the airmen on how to get help if they're assaulted and about restricted reporting rights. The goal is to make airmen think before they act.
A small bad decision could quickly spiral out of control and blow up to really ruin the rest of your life.
Technical Sergeant Sean Rose, Kunsan Air Base, Republic of Korea.
Most military children are always on the move. One child finds himself leading the other children around him. Specialist Aaron Loy tells us why.
My first name is Kenneth, my last name is Quillen. I am 10 years old and I am in 5th grade. Sometimes I work on the soundboard, sometimes I work in the computer, and sometimes I work in the light board. We are called the techies.
Kenneth is one of many students who help conduct morning meetings at Humphreys Central Elementary School. April is the month of the military child, and Kenneth recognizes the ups and downs he faces with having a parent in the military.
It feels good because we get to travel around the world, and it feels also sad because you get to miss your friends and all that stuff in school, that you've been there for so many years, so you're gonna have to have new friends.
For now, Kenneth enjoys his experiences at Camp Humphreys and appreciates the other military children around him.
Yeah, comfortable because I can know that I'm not the only one who's been in so much trouble and moving and all that stuff. So I'm not the only one. A lot of people are doing it too.
Specialist Aaron Loy, Camp Humphreys, Korea.
Student leadership conducts the meetings daily for 540 students. And that was your Around the Peninsula for Thursday, May 8th. To see these stories and others, go to the AFN Pacific website or view them through the AFN Pacific app. From all of us at AFN, enjoy your evening.